Good morning, everybody. You're listening to the Sicilian Corner podcast. And Lou, my sidekick in crime, in the studio here, asking all kinds of technical questions. And I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
Just asking if you were set, that's all.
There you go. There you go.
Because I wasn't.
Hey, listen, this weather this morning, I want to buy like about 3-4 weeks of this.
There you go. That's right.
You know, we got a lot of feasts that are going on. And it would be awful nice if we had this kind of weather to deal with. Because when it's hot, let me tell you, and the sun's beating down on you, and it's 90-something degrees, you wilt. You wilt. You really do.
That's Labor Day. That's your feast.
No, not only our feast. Not only it seems that that's the way it is.
Yeah.
But, you know, our special guest this morning is Domenic Strazzullo, and you've had the chance of meeting Domenic. And he's the president of the feast, Fisherman's Feast.
Yes.
And he's going to be on with us remotely because he's been feeling a little bit under the weather. He made the mistake of going to Brooklyn.
Hey, careful. My son lived in Brooklyn.
Well, you know, that's where he made a big mistake.
Yeah.
But, you know, right now, Lou, we have the honor of having the director of North Andover's Historical Society, Joanna Kerr, and she's joining us also remotely. But we're going to get her one of these days to come in and sit with us for the whole show. I would look forward to that. I really
That'd be great. Yeah.
Joanna, you got a lot going on, girl.
Oh yeah, we've got so much going on here in North Andover. We think it's a quiet little town, but we've got all sorts of exciting stuff happening.
I actually lived in North Andover for about 5 years. Back in
They kicked you out, like Central Catholic?
No.
Okay, all right.
Don't you know why? You're an instigator.
Yeah,
all right,
I
you're
know.
an instigator.
Yeah.
But Joanna's working on a major project, and it's one that, shame on me, I never heard of this gentleman before. And his name is Mike Sapupo. And Mike was very instrumental in the Apollo moonshot. And we're going to hear right from the top, we're going to hear from Joanna, and she's going to tell us about this documentary that they worked on with North Andover Cam. Joanna, you're on the air. Tell us what's going on, girl.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much for having me today. I am really excited about being here. So I have been the director here at the North Andover Historical Society just since January. And a very good colleague, Susan, over at the Lawrence History Center, reached out to me in January. And because we have this really cool Warden Theatre, so the Historical Society, our headquarters is now in the old Merrimack Valley Textile Museum a building on the Common in North Andover. We have been going through all sorts of amazing renovations. We're currently a net zero building, which with powered by geothermal and solar panels, which is really exciting. But because of this, we have a really amazing theatre called the Warden Theatre, named after James Warden, who is one of our board members. He's a local visionary in the field of solar power. Susan got in touch with me for was because she had been talking to a gentleman called Mike Sapupo. His wife, Helen, was very much involved with the Lawrence History Center over the years. And I found out about Mike's story, and basically it's a really incredible story. So Mike, he grew up in the Lawrence public school system. He didn't know what he wanted to do when he left school. He's just like most of us who basically you kind of have a good idea of what you should be doing, but you're not necessarily sure what you're good at or what what your life will take you in all of these directions. So a group of my staff went to Mike's house, and we actually completed an oral documentary on him. So basically we went over and asked him questions. He basically wanted us to document his life story because he's, like the rest of us, he's getting on in years now. And it's a really important story to tell because his legacy is that he did some really incredible things, basically starting from Lawrence Public Schools, not knowing where he wanted to go, what he wanted to do, And his story is basically inspiration for the rest of us, and especially for young people in our region, to maybe think that we can possibly change the world, but we don't necessarily know how to do it.
Right.
So a little bit more about Mike. So as I said, he started in Lawrence Public Schools. He eventually ended up at MIT, and went to work for Draper Labs, where at that point he was a mechanical engineer. And at the same time, in the 60s, NASA was getting involved in the moonshots. So basically, he was working side by side with NASA and the American government, and he actually designed these devices that were basically instrumental in the ability of Americans to create the Apollo program and land on the moon with the anniversary, which is tomorrow, of the first moon landing, July the 20th in 1969.
It's hard to believe 55 years. 55 years since that shot.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Domenic, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Are you 55 years old?
No.
I'm not.
You weren't even born yet. I hate you. I hate
was-
you. I'm going to tell you that right now. You
I
know,
just read about it in school.
Joanna, that's not fair. That's not fair. Not at all. Not at all. But the theater you mentioned, where is that located?
So it's actually when this building that we're in now was built in 1960 as the Merrimack Valley Textile Museum, and at the back of the building there was an addition for the stacks. So basically, all the documents and books that the museum needed. There was this extra building that was added onto the back.
Okay, that's Mass Avenue.
I'm sorry.
Is that Mass Avenue?
Yes, it's at 800 Mass Ave. In
800
Northanger.
Mass Ave. I heard a rumor, Joanna, that it's free.
Yes, it is. So we're a nonprofit. We're a small nonprofit, and we believe that by creating amazing programs such as Mike's documentary and telling his story, that we'll get more people to be interested in our history, our regional and local history, and more interested in the excitement that knowing history can create for our future. Our past defines us, but basically where we are today is we're creating history for tomorrow, for the future. So
how long is the movie?
The movie is just under 45 minutes long, and
Okay.
Mike and his family will be here, and we'll be very happy to answer questions following the movie. So he's going to be here for the documentary, which is called We Barely Made It Back. It starts at 6 p.m. on tomorrow evening, Saturday. You can go to get registration. Again, as you mentioned, the documentary is free, but we encourage you to make registrations through the North Andover Historical Society website, because we have a limited capacity. We only have 70 seats, and we're already getting pretty full with that.
Well, this is quite an honor for this gentleman. And Lou and I were talking earlier, and I honest, and I'm being sincere, I never even heard of him. And shame on me. I mean, he played an important role here. He grew up in Lawrence.
Well, there's so
I
many
mean, I
people
thought I had a
involved.
pretty good pulse of what's happening.
There's so many people involved in that program.
Yeah,
Contract.
obviously, yeah.
Well, I heard a rumor that a certain individual is going to do our best to see if we can get Mike Sapupo to come on the air with us. Is that true, Joanna?
I have to have a word with Mike.
I'm not putting you in the spot, am I, girl?
No, not at all. I'm speaking with his daughter Lisa today, who has been very, very helpful in helping us put all this together. And yes, we'll have a word in his ear, and maybe we can have him come on at some point in the future, because his story is really cool.
Am I
Just
picking
don't
up?
show him the show when you ask him.
I'm sorry.
Make him commit before he sees the show.
Absolutely. Well, that's the way you have to do it. That's good radio.
Exactly.
Bruce Arnold taught me that.
Yeah, that's right.
Joanna, am I picking up an English accent?
Yes. Yeah, I'm actually, I spent my first 30 years. Was born and raised in Manchester in the United Kingdom, which has so many echoes of the Merrimack Valley you would not understand. So, Manchester was the original birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, instrumental in the beginnings of the world textile industry history. When I was a kid, I would go to mills just like we see here in the Merrimack Valley, specifically in Lawrence, that had already been turned into museums in the 1970s. When I came over to the United States in 2000, I have a hospitality background, so I was working in hotels, but I love history, and I was enamored by the Merrimack Valley. I love driving over the bridge on 495 and seeing how amazing the sunset looks over the mill buildings on Merrimack Street. Really reminds me of where I grew up. And learning about the history of the Merrimack Valley and the pioneering families and the people that were really making changes to America and helping it to become a leader in the world. I'm very proud to live here now, and I'm really excited that this is my new home.
It's a pleasure to see these mills that, were offering jobs to immigrants that came to this country. First, the Irish came at the 1900, and all of a sudden the Italians start moving in, the next wave, and different nationalities moved in because there was work here. They weren't getting good money, and the Bread and Roses strike was a perfect example of that. But something, it was a planned city, and back in the day when they built that 918-foot dam, everything was based on that dam. All the power loo and everything else, all based in that dam. Yep. And it was an amazing city to grow up in because every neighborhood, you had a different nationality. They had their own church. They had their own doctors, like I said before in the year. And I know what you're saying. It's a beautiful city. Now to see these mills that serve a fantastic purpose come back and serve now as housing. It's terrific. It really is. It's terrific. And I'm so glad that you brought Mike to my attention and to our listeners' attention, because there's a lot of people out there like myself that didn't know the story behind this gentleman and what he accomplished. So it's nice that he's getting his dues. It really is.
Thank you. Yeah.
And our show is available to you anytime you have anything you want to promote, an event coming up. If you just send us an email, we'll be more than happy to treat it, and and let people know what's happening. Because when it comes, like tomorrow, it happens to be the anniversary. And 55 years, long time. Domenic, you don't remember any of that. But something, I think it's amazing. I think it's wonderful. Credit to the North Andover Historical Society. Here in Lawrence, we have a wonderful historical society also. And Susan Grubinski does an awful great job. She is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know if you've had much of an opportunity to work hand in hand with her, but she's a class act. She really is.
Yeah.
So in closing, what do you want to say to our listeners?
I would like to say, this is really exciting. I feel honored and privileged to have been able to document Mike's story. He is one of many people in our region that have basically changed the world or have helped to change the world in a small way. And this region continues to do so. I'm really proud to be here. One more thing I would like to add is that this documentary was produced by the North Andover Historical Society with North Andover CAM. We couldn't have done it without the technological expertise of Brian Fraser and the guys over at CAM, especially Nick, who was actually putting the documentary together right up to the last minute this week. But it's going to be a really good show. We will have it on our website after the documentary.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah. And we're probably going to be playing it in later in this year as a repeat show too.
What is the website?
It's northandoverhistoricalsociety.org.
.org?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Very good.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to be around for a long time. I can tell. I can see the smile on your face. You're enjoying this ride.
I love it. Yeah, I finally got to where I my job is not a job anymore, and I love what I do every day. And I feel privileged and honored to be helping to learn, share, educate, and help to create a spotlight on the history of our town and our region, not just the last 300-400 years, but all of the really rich subjects, the people that have been involved in the founding of the Merrimack Valley, and helping to preserve and create history for the future.
Wow, very well said. You got a few people that are saying hi to you. Roger Trudell, Andy Parisi, Nancy DeMarco, and they're all saying hello. And we're going to go to a commercial break. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. I haven't met you yet, but I look forward to it. And best of luck. And just keep that smile. You can't go wrong with that smile. I'm going to tell you that right now. Louis, why don't you take us out the break, and we'll be back. Domenic, don't go away.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler.
Owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back, and our special guest is supposed to be our in-studio guest, but you know something? He's our remote guest right now.
We're lucky he showed up for us at all, so don't stop giving him grief.
He had me jumping through hoops this morning. I had no idea who the hell I'd be talking to, you know. Domenic Strazzullo, everybody, president of the Fisherman's Feast, Madonna del Soccorso Society. I can't say enough good things about them. Domenic, welcome to the Sicilian podcast, and it's a pleasure to have you on board again this year.
Pleasure to be here. I love coming on here with you guys. It's awesome.
You know something, it's great when you can do something in person, but you know something, this will have to do. And the reason we ask you to come on every year is the Sandalfio Society here in Lawrence and the Madonna del Soccorso Society, out of all the different groups in the city of Boston, you guys really blend well with the Sandalfio Society. You really do. There's a terrific relationship, Lou. Mm-hmm. And it's good. It's like they come to visit. They come to watch our feast, see the shows or whatever, and we go there and we say hello to everybody. And you know, it's a good relationship. And this guy, he's very responsible for what's going on. And the Gainies.
Thank you.
You know, the Gainies were very instrumental in that relationship also. And I just want to mention it. Listen, what is it? August 15th, right?
August 15th to the 18th. Yep. They're always the third Sunday in August. Always.
Okay, always. Okay. And it's a 4-day feast, Luke, compared to most that are only 3 days. And by the end of the 4th day, Domenic just lays down and sleeps for 3 days.
That's
right?
Good.
That's pretty close to it.
It's a sign of a good feast.
There's a great picture. There's a great picture of me in the office with my feet in a foot bath after Sunday.
Oh, you know something. 3 days is a journey. I can't even imagine 4 days. Your feast on Thursday, the 15th, is going to start off how?
It will start off at. Well, actually, this year we're doing something a little bit different because it's the 15th. We're honoring all the Madonna societies, all the Blessed Mother societies that have a Blessed Mother, because it is the Assumption. Okay. So we're inviting them all down and to parade with us for our opening ceremonies. They'll come down they'll all line up in front of our club, and we'll do a special blessing for the Assumption, and then we'll start our procession. That will start around 6:30 on Thursday.
I heard you mention the word club. In the city of Lawrence, some of the presidents that we had would not allow you to say club. You had to refer to it as society.
Society. Yeah.
We are not a club. Okay. End of conversation. How many years you've been president now?
This is my fourth and final year.
Okay, you can serve 4 years, and that's it, right?
It's two-year terms. Yes,
you can serve two, just like us in Lawrence. Okay, yeah. That's very good. So we have Thursday. You still have the blessing of the waters.
Yes. So we'll start with the Assumption, the special Assumption celebration. March down to the waterfront. We'll do the blessing of the fishing waters as we always do. We'll come back and we'll do a special Italian American of the Year award presentation, and then we'll finish our procession, and we have Italian singer Biagio going on stage.
What's the name?
Biagio.
Okay.
Biagio. And we're going to do a special Italian dinner VIP section in front of our stage for that performance, as well as the Italian American of the Year award celebration. So while that's going on outside, down our society,
there you go. I'm proud of you.
We will be having family night.
Okay, that's a full night. Things get underway about 6 o'clock.
About 6 o'clock, things get underway. Yeah, I mean, you know how it is, Mike.
Yeah, tell me.
We're down there at 9 a.m.
No, trust me. I know. That moves us to Friday. Would you like to tell our listeners some of the things that are going on?
All right. So this year we're doing things a little bit differently this year because of all the problems we've been having with the young kids coming down. There's a lot of teenagers that are coming down trying to take our tradition away. They're coming down and they're not enjoying them. They're not coming down to enjoy themselves. They're coming down to really congregate and cause a problem, and it's getting a little bit overwhelming. They're bringing nips down and stuff like that. It's just not respectful.
I'm sorry to hear that. I really am.
So we, as you know, our blueprint is very big. So we have about 11 entrances to the feast. We are now going to have checkpoints at the feast. We only have 3 entrances to our feast. Everything else is going to be shut down.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. How many vendors are you going to have? Do you have an idea?
I think we have about 60 to 61 vendors.
You have 60?
60, yes.
You just freaked Mikey out?
On that skinny street?
Yes.
On those streets.
So
first of all, I want to just mention to our listeners, you're on
North Street, Lewis Street, and Fleet Street.
Lewis Street. That's where your society is. Your brother has a lot of clout to get a street named after him.
He does. Yes. Yeah. I don't know how he got all this before me, but
I don't get it.
Being the younger brother, I mean, really.
Is Lewis still in charge of all the entertainment that goes on at the feast?
Lewis is the co-chairman of the feast, along with Danny Puccio. So they're both the co-chairman of the feast. So they have their hand in a lot of things. Yes.
Okay. So
but
I'm sorry to hear you have a little bit of a problem with some of the people that are going down for a different reason than to celebrate.
That's what it is. Yep.
They're out to cause problems, and that's unfortunate.
So every feast in the North End is doing this, not just us. But
no kidding.
We're shutting our entertainment down early at 9, and our feast and vendors will be closed at 10.
Who do we have? Okay, that's good. That's a good thing. Who do you have for entertainment on Friday? Do you know offhand?
Friday we have Trifecta. Will be coming on. They're
Trifecta.
So they used to be with Vinyl Groove.
Okay. Yeah, I know that.
Now those members form their own band, and they're called Trifecta.
Okay.
And
what kind of music is it?
It's the same disco and old 70s hits. that they'll be playing. And we have a few opening acts that we're going to be doing. We're also going to be doing on Friday Carnivale with the floats coming down. One of our members makes floats. Like they do in Shaka for Carnivale. So they're going to do a special Carnivale procession. That will start early, like at 4 o'clock. Come through the feast with the Carnivale floats. And then what they'll do is have a performance afterwards on stage.
So with the vendors on the streets, they're probably on one side of the street, or are they going both sides?
Both sides.
Both sides.
Yes.
So those displays must be pretty small, not too big, right? The
Correct.
Floats.
They fit down the narrow streets. They'll know what that they'll fit.
They run over everybody's toes.
Yes. Yes.
I'm only kidding.
Move it or lose it, we say.
Yeah, that's true. I've been there. I know what you're saying. Well, you know something? That's a nice mix for Friday night. I mean, especially where you got a group coming in that's kind of upbeat, and it gets people going, it gets people moving, and that's it's important.
Yep.
I always thought that in my mind that good entertainment brought the people out.
Yeah.
There's a saying that sometimes you got to spend money to make money, and you need attractions. And, there's a lot of people that come to that feast who do not know who Madonna del Soccorso is.
Right. They're not coming there. A lot of people don't come there for the tradition so much, but you get them in on Friday night with a nice entertainment, and they say, oh, this is fun. I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to come back Sunday.
And it helps the vendors tremendously. But I always felt, and for many years, Tom Zappler and myself handled the entertainment for the society. And Domenic, I used to see you'd be down there a lot and catching the shows. And the best thing the ones that I liked the most were when we were in the Common. And Lou, you worked with us and helped us set up. And to look out, get on that stage and to look out and to see, gosh, I don't know, 15,000 people, easy, more, all having a good time and smiling. It's very satisfying. And, I remember when that used to get over on Friday night about 10:30, they would all leave at the same time and go down Common Street, which is our main street. And the vendors would be just packed. A lot of them would sell out of food because they weren't used to it. It was something brand new to us, And entertainment to me was a very important part of the feast. And I think, Domenic, you'll agree. And I know your brother, like I said before, he ran most of the entertainment. As a matter of fact, some of the people that we had in Lawrence, we brought to your feast.
Correct.
Michael Amante, he did a fantastic job. Franco Corso, I know you let me MC that show. And we had Tony DeMarco there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I miss Tony, something wicked.
Last year you had at St. Alfio, I'm blanking on his name. Oh, no, he's a singer from Vegas who does impressions.
Yeah, that's Tony Pace.
Tony Pace, yeah.
Tony Pace, yes, Tony Pace. Yeah, we had him, I guess, before he was famous. We brought him in, and great show. And now he's doing all these crazy things.
Something, he's a gentleman, easy to work with. You guys, Tony's cut back quite a bit now, and we're all getting older. We're all getting a little bit older, and I couldn't say someone that would be better to work with than Tony Pace. We have him on our show quite a bit, and he was very well received by your fans at the Fisherman's Feast. He really was, because he's sincere, he's funny. I don't know how his mind works in mysterious ways.
Yeah. Kind of does, yeah.
I mean, he goes off in this tangent. How do you come up with ideas? I met him back in 1997 at a convention hall up in Bedford, New Hampshire, called the Bedford Village Inn. And he was looking for volunteers to come out on the stage floor. So he comes out and he says, you, and you. and he grabs three of us, brings us up on the stage, and dresses us up like hillbillies. First of all, I don't like when my hair gets messed up. That's a no-no. That's the what annoys me the most. That's
Me neither.
it. Don't
Me neither.
You keep it the same all the time. How do you do it? But Tony dressed me up like a hillbilly, and I had this like a barrel tipped upside down with a string coming through it, and it's supposed to be like a playing a thing. And he stops the music, stops everything, walks over to me, and he says, "What's your name?" I told him. He says, "I have to tell you, Mike, man, you got no rhythm at all." And that was my first time meeting him. We went back to that restaurant about 4 weeks later, and the girl that was seating us, she's looking at me. She says, "How do I know you?" And I was just ready to tell her the story that, I was there, and then it came to her. She says, "Oh, you were the guy that was on the stage with Tony Pace." I says, "Yeah." So, it's funny. He made me look like a fool. He really did. And he enjoyed every second of it.
Of course,
I know he
yeah.
did. Domenic, I'm up.
Think of how much you'd enjoy it now.
I know. I'm up against the break, Dom, but you stay with us. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about, we have 2 other days we want to get into, and we want to talk a little bit about the Madonna and some of the acts and some of the mysteries and myth about the Madonna. And I want you to kind of get into that for us. Lou, why don't you take us to a quick break? Don't you go away, Dom. Don't go anywhere. And go comb your hair. Go comb your hair. We'll be right back.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Sisters and co-owners Antoinetta and Elisa brought their family authentic Italian recipes from Molise, Italy, and a warm and welcoming dining experience to its customers at Ristorante Molise. The combination of their meals made from natural, homemade, fresh ingredients, and your time with family and friends together at dinner time is unmatched. Located in Market Square in the heart of Amesbury, they're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. and are available for private parties during off hours. For reservations, call them at 978-388-4844. That's 978-388-4844. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler.
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And what are you doing? Sleeping? Huh?
Oh, I think I got to unmute him. Hang on.
Wait a minute. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What were you doing?
Listen, all the food I see on these commercials, I have to turn away because I'm getting hungry.
You know something? For that throat of yours, you're going to have some pastina after this is over, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that goes without saying. That goes without saying.
First thing I'm making.
You should see what we do during the breaks, Tom.
It's a little insane sometimes, but that's okay. Hey, listen, the Madonna has been honored in Sciacca, Sicily since the 16th century, I believe, right?
Oh yeah, yes,
yeah,
yes. Well over 500 years.
Wow. Do you think their feast has changed much through the years? Have you ever had an opportunity? Did they run at the same time that you run your feast, correct?
They run it on August 15th and on February 2nd.
All right. Okay. Have you've never had an opportunity to be there?
We just came back this February. We were down there. I was down there this February.
Okay.
This past February, I was there.
And they have a society like basically what you run?
Not really. It's more church oriented.
Yeah, that was where I was going with that question. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
They have the fishermen that come in to carry the Madonna, but they have certain members that are like caretakers of the statue, and then the church really puts it all together.
The church is instrumental.
Yes, very.
Wow. We were talking about the events that are going on Friday. You talked about the entertainment. Can we move now to Saturday? What time will the event start?
Saturday, we're going to open at about 12 noon.
Okay.
And we start with the procession with the kids. So our members' sons and daughters will carry a mini statue around the streets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they get their just due and do what they have to do. That'll take about 30 minutes. Then we'll do some Italian games on stage at about 1 o'clock. And that will lead into our 6th or 7th annual, I lose track now, meatball contest.
And who's in charge of the meatball contest, Dominic?
I am.
There you go.
Of course.
How many contestants will you get for that?
I try to get between 8 and 10 contestants.
Okay.
It does get harder every year because
Yeah.
the more times that they come back and the more times that they don't win, then, well, why am I coming back? So
They get a case of algae.
we started with just North End restaurants, and now we moved out to outside of the North End and just taking restaurants from all over. I believe we have a restaurant coming in from New Hampshire this year.
No kidding.
So
You would know the name of it, would you?
I'd have to look
Okay,
it up.
that's all right. No, I don't want to put you on the spot. And now I see a cooking stage. What is that all about?
So we started a cooking stage back in 2019 when we had Galbani come in as one of our sponsors. And then we just carried it over. So my cousin Kenny, who handles all the vendors, was on MasterChef.
That was a great job.
And he got a white apron on MasterChef. And so we put him on stage and we have him cook. He also has his own YouTube channel, Live, Laugh, and Cook Italian. So if you want some good recipes, go check that out. But he goes on stage, he does a couple of shows, and he hands out Bono olive oil, which is a sponsor of our feast, and does some cooking with Bono olive oil. And if we have any other food sponsors, he'll cook with their food as well.
Oh, that's great. And you get a lot of people to show up for that because they're interested in it.
Oh, yeah.
I know
Oh, yeah.
last year at the Society in Lawrence, we had Marianne Esposito. And boy, I was shocked at the amount of people because we do it not in a, I'm not going to call it an off time, but a little bit quieter time, you know. And I'll tell you, they loved it. This year, one of the sponsors of our show you saw was Grazie. It was the last ad that ran, and that's at the Four Oaks Country Club. Mike and his wife coming in with their chef, and they're going to be putting on a wonderful, wonderful cooking demo. I know it's going to go over very well because their food is just, I can't say enough good things about it, you know. So now we're getting what time? What time are we now? Around 7 o'clock at night, basically.
We're around 5 o'clock. We'll put some acts on stage. We do the final voting for the meatball contest with the judges that we have. We have Steve Domenic from Wicked Bites.
Oh yeah.
And comedian Boston Guido. They'll come down. They do some skits and they'll do the final judging for the judges' choice, and we'll announce the People's Choices winner. And then we'll have Billy and the Jets going on again. So last year we had Billy and the Jets, and we had to shut them down early because of, like I said, with the kids we had going on.
Yeah.
So we brought them back this year. So, you know, we be generous to them, give them a little bit more time, and do what we have to do.
Like I said, entertainment to me is a cornerstone of any successful feast, in my opinion. But it's getting harder and harder to run these feasts because of the expense load.
Yeah.
You know, everything, just security alone.
Police details on it.
Security alone, it's a killer. It's a killer. And, you know, you would think the city, you know, this is a form of tourism. It brings a lot of people into the area that spend an awful lot of money in the area. But you know something, you get no breaks from the police departments. And it really adds up. And if you're a nonprofit, it's no joke.
Yep.
That brings me to this question. Who is in charge of corporate fundraising?
It's a team effort.
Okay,
It
so
really
you don't
is.
have a chairman for that.
No.
It's a group. It's a group.
It really is. I mean, Lewis and Danny will work together, and they work with a marketing company that we have. So they'll try to bring in what they can, but the group effort is, you know, we bring in other people as well. Hey, I have this connect. Hey, I have that connect. You know, let's sit down and chat. You know, I have one of the things that I found out when I became chairman was a lot of these companies came to us. A lot of them called us and said, "Hey, how can
That's
I
a
get
good
involved?"
problem. That's a good problem.
And I just had that the other day. 2 days ago, somebody called me, and I had a meeting last night, and I said, "Sure, let's meet." And we got some stuff done. So we're still getting people rolling in right now, but we have people reaching out to us, and we have the marketing company working for us.
That's good. That's good. That's good to hear, because for many years, one of my jobs was working with corporate sponsors, and I kind of like doing things by myself, to be honest with you.
Yep.
That way, nothing slips through the cracks. And I'm kind of a control freak, and nobody wants to work with me anyway. So what the hell's the difference, But boy, I'll tell you, it is time consuming. Time consuming. People do not realize when your feast gets over on the 19th, there's going to be plans that'll start probably in a couple of weeks afterwards for next year's feast. I mean, you guys get together at your society and you will talk about what's going on. Besides everybody being happy that you're gone. I mean, other than that, for 4 years, your imprint is all over this feast. All right.
It's funny because, as chairman of the feast, you just worry about the feast.
I know.
But as the president of the society, you have to worry about everything of that society and everything around it.
I know you just had a conversation with the president of the Sandalfio Society, Tony Parmesan. And by the way, Tony has done remarkable as president. Hats off to him. And it's amazing the direction that the society is tilting toward now. Yeah. There's a lot of camaraderie, and that's very, very important. Okay, the most important day of any feast is Sunday. Why don't you
Monday? Monday, the day after.
So you became a comedian, Tony Pace. You were working with Tony. So tell us about Sunday.
No, you're right about Sunday. Yes, Sunday we start with our mass at 9 a.m. And then we move into our procession. It's a 9-hour procession. Wow. Starts at 12:30, and we go around all the streets of the North End. Some of them twice or three times. We visit all the other different societies, and it's become more of a party atmosphere for the residents. We've had some residents reach out to us that have said, "Hey, I just moved to the neighborhood. I've seen your feast. Love what goes on. Can we donate? Can we have a calendar? We want to do a party outside our house. Can you bring the statue by?" So it's our local residents that are in and around our society are starting to come to us now and say, "Hey, we want to be more involved." I just had a couple last night bring a case of water to our society. "Hey, I want to donate this to you. We saw the procession over the weekend. We thought it was great. Can we donate some water to the society?" "Sure, not a problem. You need anything, please let us know." "Okay, thank you."
I'm starting to laugh because when you mentioned water, I got this flashback in my head. I had gone to Polar Beverages up in Worcester, seeing if they would be a sponsor of the show. And I had an appointment. And unfortunately, that year, they could not participate as a sponsor. But the guy turns around and says to me, "Do you need any water?" Now, you know how much water you guys go through during the feast. So I says, "Why, yes, we definitely could use water." So he says, "You know what I'll do tomorrow? I'll have 150 cases of water shipped up to Lawrence."
Wow.
So I had no place to store it, but in the garage, which we keep everything. And so I completely buried everything. The society members were going bananas. We're going bananas. But when you mentioned water, that's triggered my mind. St. Leonard's Church is the church that you do your mass in?
Yes.
Yeah. What a beautiful job restoration, huh?
Jesus, yes. And Father Michael is a local North Ender.
Yeah.
He's now the head over there at the parish. So we're very, very lucky to have him.
Absolutely. What a nice man. Young man.
Yes.
I've met him a few times, and what a gentleman. What a gentleman.
He used to do stuff for us when we were kids. Do like Nerf football leagues, and he did everything for the kids when I was younger. And we never forget that. We have that bond.
On several occasions, I've had to go to not only masses but the funerals there, and you can't help, Louis, but look around this building and the restoration that they did. I think it was well over $3 million, I believe, Domenic.
Yes.
And the St. Joseph Society was very instrumental in helping that out. But that church will rival churches in Italy, seriously. I mean, the way the meticulous restoration, and that's not easy to do. It's a very active church, and something. A lot of people were born Christian, baptized, married, buried, the whole 9 yards in that church. It's a lot like the Holy Rosary Church here in the city, the Holy Rosary Shrine. I keep forgetting it's a shrine now.
Now it's a shrine.
Shrine, not a church.
Yeah, I know.
Not a club.
That's it. You got it?
You get the terminology.
There's going to be a quiz after the show. When you're done your pastina, you call me and we'll discuss this. Hey, listen,
No problem.
It's time to say goodbye. What do you have to say about to us as St. Connor listeners?
Just the last thing on Sunday is the Flight of the Angel. Don't miss the Flight of the Angel, 8:30 at night, right on North Street. National Geographic calls it a spectacle not to be missed. We've been going on for 114 years, so we're not going to stop. We're just going to keep on going. So please come down, support us, and have a good time.
Absolutely. And it's one of the best run feasts in the North End. Truthfully, it really is. 1910. Imagine that.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Domenic, feel better, my friend. Have
Thank
two
you.
Do you
bowls.
remember the first one, Mikey?
Huh?
Do you remember the first one?
I didn't say it.
What are you laughing for? What are
I
you
didn't
laughing?
say it. Lou said it. I
All
didn't say
right.
it.
Hey, listen, take care, everybody. Next week, Jim Morris is going to be here with us, and he's the founder of the B Street Bombers.
Oh, excellent.
And next year, the B Street Bombers, we're going to see if we can get them into the Fisherman's Feast. Because if you have them once there, Domenic,
Oh, you love them.
Yeah.
they'll go crazy. They'll go
He
crazy.
has contacted me in the past.
Oh, what a great group. 44 years they've been around. Hey,
Wow.
listen, I could talk about that forever. Listen, when you talk entertainment, I get excited. I'm getting goosies. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.